Okay, scenario 2. Oh, that's good. Hand in the way. How's that for a video? Good Lord. Come on, man. Come on. Wardrobe, you're better than this. All right, Ghost Panzer. Training scenario 2. It is a meeting engagement. No command points for anybody, so no one gets any fun stuff like that. We have some T-34M1s that will enter on the east edge, and we have on turn 2 T-34M3s and T-70s. The Germans have 2 Panzer 3Js, and then on turn 2, 4 Panzer 4 F2s. So they're come on here. These guys are here, they're concealed. I put them in buildings and trees, which they cannot move into otherwise normally. And then these guys coming on here. So they don't have to come on the road, I don't think. I'm not sure where they're gonna come in. So that's that. First time using tanks. I just need to read up on a couple rules and I'll get going. Holy cow, whew, super easy armor fighting here. So he's moving, if I did this right, he's moving. He chose to op fire. So I had to check a proficiency check. I did the modifiers, it was pretty high. I mean, with a 9, it was only like a 7. I rolled a 3, so he passed. He then fired, and that was, he just rolled with a 10 minus a 9. Oh, minus the 7 is 3, so I needed a 3 or less. I rolled a 1, and it's destroyed. Now, I think immediately I would use the 2 optional rules of unconfirmed kill and critical, because I think that'd be fun. In this case, it doesn't matter. He's destroyed anyway. That's if a 1 does not result in a kill. But in this case, it does. So that's my first kill, and then he's off the board. So that, so I can see, that's interesting. So it's super easy. All right, that's it. Okay, something else, still first turn, just going through stuff. As I'm learning stuff, I'll just come talk about it. So this guy wanted to op fire, so he turned. So so this is kind of interesting. This is almost kind of like the to hit roll in a way. So if you look at checking proficiency, and he was gonna fire at this guy who was 11 hexes away. So if you go down the chart here, so my proficiency is 9. It's greater than 10 hexes, so it's -1. So now I had an 8 or less. If target is marked move or fire using op fire, which I am, so it's -2. So now I'm at a 6. If firing after turning within its hex -1 or after moving to a new hex, so it's -1. So now it's a 5. Right, because I got -2, -1, so yeah, it's 5. Am I doing that right? Yeah. And so what's interesting is then, so that's kind of your to hit roll, because then you're rolling on, you're rolling to see if you're able to shoot, because then it'll just be that minus his thing. So I rolled a 5, so I'm able to do it. And then I roll with the 10, and he's hitting in his front arc still. 10 minus the 7. Let's see if there's any not greater than 20 hexes, lower elevation, higher elevation. So I can roll. Let's just go ahead and roll it and see what we get here. Oh my goodness. So it's a 2. So he's destroyed. So that is that. This guy will be marked used. That's 2 shots, 2 hits. Now the Germans can't. And this guy just moved here because I was trying to be some of a distraction, and he's moved. I don't know if I should, I guess I should have moved. I guess I would want to fire with him anyway. So let's do that. So while he was moving, and that would make a difference. Even though the chances of doing it are pretty slim. So let's check his proficiency. So he's at a 5. He's firing at its 5 hexes. If target was marked as moved, fire op fire. Now, going to a new hex, -4. So now I'm at a 1 proficiency. That's my only penalty. So let's see here. 5. So he wouldn't be able to do it anyway. So he's used and moved. I think I have to mark with both markers there. I'll take the used off, but that moved stays on there. I don't think this counts as move turning in your hex. I need to check that. Anyway, so now that's 2 tanks down. I've got 1 tank left in this turn. He's used. I can't use final op fire because at a distance. I can do it if I get right next to him. Well, I'm not going to do that. So, but then when do the Germans guys come on? Oh, the end of the second turn. Okay. So yeah, now this guy, now I'm just going to run up to this guy and turn around and try to fire at his bottom. Okay. All right, that's that. We'll talk to you. Oh, and he was in the woods, so has another -1. Well, that was, oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, it's -1 to my firepower, so that wouldn't have come into play until then. So, okay. And as simple as that, I realized well, first of all, I did a couple things wrong. One, all right, well, so we're going to call the turn done, but I'm going to talk about the mistake I made. So he's used, I tried to roll, I rolled a 10, so he couldn't fire on him. So then that is the end of the turn. Everyone's on board that's going to be. So here's where I made the mistake. So the Soviets have a operations range of 3 to 6. The Germans 3 to 9. So a tank, to activate a tank takes 3. So what I should have been able to do is he would have been 3, move another one in over here. That would have been 2. So that would have been 6 points total. That would have been all I could do that turn. However, his fire would have canceled that. He would be used. Then it was the Germans' turn. I would have made him op fire. Switching back over to the Soviets, they would have done both their things. He would have just, the only change that would have done is he would have been marked, would have been 1 easier to hit, and it didn't matter. He hit him anyway. Or proficiency check, which I think that impacts. So that would have helped that. And so that's the turn. So I got to remember to pay attention to operations range and that these all cost 3 each to operate. All right, that's the end of turn 1. End of turn 2. Yeah, I mean, the Soviets are just getting blasted. So a couple cool things. This guy tried to op fire. He failed, so he was marked used. So that was good. Just showing that it's possible with that proficiency of 9. For these guys are 8 proficiency, these new guys that came on, so I have to remember that. But that said, 1 or 2 of them, oh shoot, I can't remember. 1 or 2 of them were able to fire after moving and definitely killed at least 1, if not 2 of these. I think they killed 2, like, because 1 guy was in the flank. Oh, the German did get shot when he was sitting here, and this guy was over here, and he, fired on him. No problemo. And then he got destroyed. So it's 3 against 5. And these guys are all facing front armor. It's pretty unlikely. Well, I'll see what happens. So here's one thing I should have done. This guy was the last to come on. I should have moved him over here to shoot at this guy, because this guy's marked move. And so he has to roll a proficiency check to do anything. Well, he rolled a 7. And it's a -1 with their move. So he's used already. So the Soviets have spent 3 and this guy's used. So again, let's T70, let's just do it. T70 will try to do it. So he's going to take that off. I guess I could try to move to get him to the rear of somebody. But as soon as I move at all, he can op fire. Oh, you know what? I didn't look at the op fire. Oh, shoot. I didn't look at all this stuff here. If this moving in open ground, if all that takes impact on the tank. So I wasn't doing any of that. I'll have to look at that if these situations apply to that. And basically, it's the situations. Do the moving in open ground impact the tanks? If so, what is that impacting? I don't think it impacts anything, because if you look at the firepower, the ranges are already taken into effect. So I don't think that comes into effect. The only thing on that side is that. Anywho, so really I should probably try to move. I mean, he'll get some, if he gets, he's gonna have to get adjacent to somebody, because the Germans are actually smartly placed to do something. Shoot, man. I mean, this guy's toast. He's a 4 and a 3. I mean, the Soviets are dead. So I'll mark him off. Gosh, I feel like I should move. I can't move. I'm gonna have to move next to a German guy, so. And then this guy can op fire as soon as he moves. Oh, goodness gracious. I can reverse. Let me see what that takes. Into turn 3, yeah, good luck, Soviets. Oh boy, not looking good. 1 from the rear, 2 from the rear, 3 from the rear, actually. So he's gonna have to face and turn somebody. He gets to go first, but as soon as he rotates, he's gonna take 3 fire attacks. Oh boy. I think these, like, if I think if I read this right, so when these guys are definitely gonna op fire, right? Why is that not focusing? Okay, these guys are definitely gonna op fire. So if he does, there's a proficiency check here, but I would assume that it comes off because I don't see anything there. It says if target marked move, if fire marked as if firing after moving in with it. So I think what'll happen is this just comes off because he's not, I mean, it says if it moved in that phase or after moving in a new hack. Yeah, so I think it's just going to come off. And so the Soviet, I'm like, okay, well, what do you do in this situation? Because I have to turn, I have to move, do something in someone's line of sight. I guess I could move into that tree, or not into the tree. I can't move into the tree, but I can move there and at least be out of range of one guy. So we'll do that. So 1. Let's see what happens. First guy rolled a 9, so he is now just marked used, I assume. Let's see what happens with this guy. Oh, look at that. He's also a 9. That's awesome. The Soviet's like, oh, thank goodness. So he can just keep moving. He just moved into that hex. Here, there, 3. He's successful. It's going to be a 13 against a 4. So 9. Oh! So it's exactly the amount. So let me put an unconfirmed kill on him. Let's see what that is. Okay, so, whoa, golly, tilt camera time. So this guy here moved at a -4, -1. -4 because he moved into a new hex. -1 because he does there. So that's -5. Proficiency of 9. I rolled a 4, so he made it. He fired 10. -4 is 6. I rolled a 3. So now it's a kill. I think that unconfirmed kill, if I got another one, like if I'd rolled a 4 on that, it would be added, and that would be that. But he's destroyed. Game over. Germans profound victory. The victory condition was the player that destroys the most vehicles by the game end is winner. The player wins in event of a tie. Wow, this is gonna be another one I got to play again and reread the rules to make sure I'm doing everything right. So I guess people can move and fire, no problem. Really? I think the Americans might have a trait where they get a -3 or instead of a -4 when moving. So that's pretty powerful. That is a tough one, man. Tank battles are just deadly. Wasn't that deadly for the Germans? They only lost 1 tank. I think this might be a case where you want to go 1 at a time, man. So that was interesting. So that was scenario 2, training scenario 2, meeting engagement. I'm going to try it one more time. Oh, I should have timed how long it took me to play that. Hold on, let me look here. Probably about an hour and a half. That sounds wrong. But that's filming, reading rules. So that doesn't sound right, though. All right, we'll talk to you. See ya.